Hey YouTube, Ed here with Jack of all trades and welcome to another video. So today what we're talking about is the Springfield Echelon. This is the 4-inch version. I just got this in, so we're going to go over it, we're going to review it, and we're going to test it here today. So stay tuned. And welcome back. So yes, today I've got the Springfield Echelon. This is the 4-inch version. It came from Springfield with this Viridian optic on top of it. And we're going to go over this gun today. Now, this is not my gun. This was actually a gun that a customer of mine ordered in, and I'm doing the transfer for him. But he allowed me to do this video on it today. So we're going to go over the gun real quick. We're going to talk about some of the specs and some of the features of this gun, and then we're going to do a little shooting with it. We're going to see what I think of it overall. So let's get right into it. So this is the box that it comes in. It's nothing fancy or special. And inside of the box, when you open it up, you obviously have a very nice soft-sided little case that you can get with it. That's kind of impressive. You get a little package here. Now this package contains most of the various accessories for the Viridian that comes mounted on this gun. They give you your what I assume is supposed to be your owner's manual, and it's more than anything. It's a little folder. It's got your warranty activation in here. They give you a little Springfield Armory sticker, things like that. This handgun does not actually come with a printed warranty, and I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, I don't like that. They give you a QR code where you can scan, and it'll take you right to the Springfield Armory website, and that's where you get your owner's manual from. I do not like the fact that they do not give you a printed owner's manual, because there are some people out there, whether you choose to believe it or not, that do not have smartphones. They probably have computers, but they don't have phones. And to not provide a printed owner's manual in the box is not something I am a fan of. They do give you a little target here that proves that they shot it and that the gun is supposedly functioned. The target is dated and signed. And then inside here, there's a little accessory area of the box. They give you a reloader, which for this gun will actually be probably pretty handy. Here is the rubber cover for the Viridian. It doesn't fit on the gun very good, but I'll show you that in a little bit. They give you a magazine extension because this does come with two mags. And from the factory, I believe they're 15 and they're 18, but the 18, this mag extension is what gives you that 18 option. It allows you to put 3 more rounds in it. So if you want to run with the mag extension, you can. They do give you a couple of grip inserts, which, as I understand, are very, very easy to change. These grip inserts will help adjust it to your hand size. They give you the firearm lock, and then they give you the little clip that you need to install your grip extensions. So that's everything that comes in the box. Now, inside the padded case, you obviously get the firearm itself right there with the optic already mounted to it, and the two mags, the 15 and the 18 mag. So let's just talk about the gun itself here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open it up and get rid of the empty chamber flag. This gun, like I said, it did come with a Viridian optic already mounted to it. So one of the neat things about this firearm is it comes readily available to accept over 30 different types of optics on this gun, with a very simple system on how to exchange them out. And that's actually very desirable for a lot of people. Now, you can order them right from Springfield in a number of different fashions with different optics on here. But if you wanted to order this gun with just the straight up iron sights, you can do that, and it'll accept a wide variety of optics if you choose to put an optic on it later. So let's talk about some features of the gun itself. Obviously, the gun is unloaded, so we're dealing with a safe firearm. The first thing, let's just start at the muzzle end. This thing is threaded. This does come with a threaded barrel. They give you a thread protector with some pretty decent knurling on it. Now, I did notice on the first couple of shots, I did notice that had a tendency to loosen up. So you make sure you get that on there really nice and tight before you start using it in earnest. The other thing that I really like about this gun, coming back, is it's got a rail here if you wanted to mount a flashlight or something like that. that does have that option. It's got nice metal sights on it, which are great as compared to, like, say, the Glock, which oftentimes comes with plastic sights. Not a real big fan of plastic sights. I personally really like metal sights. Moving back on the gun, you'll notice these serrations, or these grip serrations that they have on the gun here. These things are deep. I'm actually very impressed. They give you a really good grip on the firearm. They have them front and back, so depending on where you like to grab the firearm or how you like to manipulate the firearm, they put these really deep, heavy cut serrations in here. Very, very impressed with that. Another neat feature about this gun is right here, you can see there's like two little wings. They've got them here on the front, and they've also got them here on the back. And those two little wings are actually really nice because it allows you to really get a hold of that slide if you want to. So you can do a press check, or you can, get a good positive grip on it when you're loading it. Or if you are using the serrations and you happen to slip a little bit, which I don't know how in the heck you could, as deep as these things are, there's just one more spot there that'll help you to grasp the slide on this firearm to manipulate it and load it. Those little wings there, that's just a really nice little feature that they put on there, and I'm really liking that. That is something you would normally see on a custom firearm, something that you purchased and sent into a custom shop to have things done to it to make it more shootable or make it more to your liking. That's just something they add right to this gun right off the bat. The stippling, they have got stippling all over on this gun. I mean, the stippling on the grip, though it's pretty fine, it's pretty aggressive, and it really gives you a good purchase on the firearm. They've got a little ledge right here so that when you're gripping the firearm, you have a place for your thumb to reside. You can see it just bumps out a little bit there, and it's got some really nice stippling on that as well. Really impressed with that. They've got stippling on the front of the trigger guard. They got stippling on the bottom, all the way around the grip. It's got stippling. They even put it on the ambi mag release right here. There's good stippling there on both sides. Even the takedown lever, the stippling on there. You really wouldn't have to have that, but they put that in there. They put stippling all over this thing, and so you've got good grip no matter where you're grabbing this firearm or how you're holding this firearm. You've got good grip everywhere on the firearm, and it really gives you a nice positive grip on it. Let's talk about some of the controls. So you obviously have your takedown lever here. You have your mag release right here, right where you would expect it to be, and it is ambidextrous. You don't have to change it out or anything like that. It comes ambi right out of the box. It's already a done deal. The mag, the slide release, it actually it's got a really nice sharp shelf there, so you can really just brush it with your thumb and it'll close the firearm up. Yet it doesn't stick out to make it so that it's uh, going to catch on anything when you're drawing it out of a holster or putting it into a holster. I'm liking that a lot. Other than that, the controls on this firearm are pretty much the same as any other polymer striker fired handgun or pistol that you would find. Let's talk sights a little bit. Like I said, the sights are metal. You've got a really nice white dot up there. You've got your basic two dots in the back. They really line up good. They're easy to find, no problems there. And they also co-witness with the laser or the red dot. It's not a laser, it's a red dot. So they actually co-witness very nice, and I find that it is actually pretty accurate. I've shot this thing just a couple of times prior to shooting the video here. Actually very easy to see in the daylight, and it co-witnesses nicely with the sights, and I'm very, very happy with that overall. So like I stated earlier in the beginning of the video, you get a whole bunch of these different palm swells in here so you can customize the gun to your grip and feel. This is one of the simplest ones that I found to replace. There's a little plastic button right here that you depress, and that's what slides the whole thing out of there. So in order to change it out, you just go ahead and stick your finger up the butt of the firearm. You push on that little button. You slide it down with your thumb like that. It comes off. And then to install the new one, you just put it in place, push it down, slide it in, and you've got a different palm swell on there to make it fit your hand better. So let's talk trigger just a little bit. The trigger on this gun, in my opinion, isn't bad. It's not great. It could be better. I've heard some people just absolutely rave about this trigger, and I don't know that it is that good. But I'm going to go ahead and verify. Firearm is empty. It's clear. We're dealing with a safe firearm. So let's just go ahead and take a look. So this has got your typical trigger safety, just like a lot of these striker fired guns have. So once you get that, there's quite a bit of take up on this. Now that take up is really, really smooth. It's not at all gritty or anything like that, but there's a lot of it. So then once you get to get the take up taken out, now you're engaging the sear, and it's got a pretty heavy trigger pull, and it's a little mushy on the backside. It's not real crisp. Just not super pleased with that. So we're going to go ahead and keep the trigger depressed and charge it again. We're going to go ahead and release. There's the reset. So there's quite a bit of release to get the reset, and then it's right there again, and you're engaging the sear. This isn't the best trigger I found. It's certainly not the worst trigger. That's for far and sure. For a factory firearm, this trigger is actually pretty good, but it is not the best trigger, and it is not a trigger that I am just absolutely going to sit here and rave about and say it's the silky smoothiest trigger I've ever seen and blah 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 and get all wet around the edge over this trigger, because it's just simply not that great. It's okay, but it's not great. And I imagine with some practice and some firing, you'll probably get used to this trigger very, very well. It does have quite a bit of trigger weight to it. If I'm wagering a guess, there's probably 6 or 7 pounds of trigger there. It's maybe 5.5 or 6. Maybe 7 is too much, but there's quite a bit of trigger there. And I'm unfortunately I don't have my trigger scale with, so I can't give you a measurement, but it's a pretty weighty trigger. It's just not that great. So taking the firearm down is actually very, very simple. You've got a couple of options. You can either slide the slide back and engage the slide lock to the rear like that if you want to. If you can't get that done, you can also just take an empty magazine, pull the slide to the rear, and drop that magazine out. That's 2 ways that you can get it locked back, but you have to lock it back. Now, the thing I like about this gun is in order to release the slide, you don't have to pull the trigger, and there are far too many models of firearms out there where you actually have to drop the firing pin on this thing to get it apart. You don't have to do that with this gun. My FN9SC is one of those guns where you have to actually drop the firing pin to get the gun apart. And though the first step, anytime you're taking any gun apart, is to make sure that it's unloaded, there are always those opportunities where people have screwed that up and had a round in the chamber, and dropping that firing pin, you're going to find out very quickly whether you did or didn't unload the firearm. But that aside, you block the slide to the rear. You don't have to pull the trigger to drop the firing pin. And then you just take this takedown lever, which is actually quite tight, and you move it down to the 6 o'clock position like that. Then you just grasp the firearm, pull it to the rear slightly, and allow it to come forward. Then the gun comes apart. It's very, very simple to take apart. Very, very easy. Same thing putting it back together. Just get the slides lined up like that. Get it all lined up like it's supposed to be. Push the slide to the rear. Lock it into place. Move the takedown lever back to its original position, and the gun is put back together again. The last 2 things that I really want to cover on the gun, as you can see on the mag wheel here, they've got a pretty nicely chamfered mag well on it. This will make loading magazines very, very easy. It's not a big, huge flared mag well, but it is flared, which will just help you to get that magazine in there that much faster. The other thing we've got here is we've got a really nice deep cut here underneath the beaver tail, which really allows you to get up and high on that firearm, which is really nice. You've got a little cutout right here on the bottom side of the trigger guard to put your social finger underneath there. It really lends itself well to getting nice and high on the gun. You've got a little shelf right here that you can put your thumb on when you're gripping the firearm, or if you're doing a one-hander, or if you're doing two, obviously you have that little shelf up front here. But the other thing that allows with this nice deep cut here on the beaver tail is your bore axis on this is really nice and low. It's got a really nice low bore axis, which will lend itself well to control. Anytime your bore axis is high, like on the SIGs, for example, that's a really good example. That bore axis is quite high on those guns. You have more mechanical advantage up high, and it's going to make the muzzle want to flip more. Whereas if you got a nice low bore axis like this one, it's going to help. Now, is that mission critical? Absolutely not. With practice and time and trigger time on the range, you can obviously get used to pretty much any bore axis out there, but having it nice and nice and low to the receiver like this will help those shooters out there that maybe don't get out to the range as often as they would like to keep good control of this firearm. All right, so let's go ahead and take a few shots with the Springfield Echelon. We'll do a couple of mag reloads, and we'll just see how I like the firearm altogether. I really like that deep serrations they've got here. The cuts are just really nice and positive, and I'm really liking those little wings that they got there. Now, one thing I'm noticing right off the bat is when you're doing a press check on this thing, it doesn't go into battery right away. In fact, you can see here, I just did a little press check and then I let it go and it doesn't go into battery. You have to push it into battery with your hand. Now, maybe that'll clear up with some use. I've only got about 35 rounds through this thing so far, so the gun isn't even broke in yet. But let's go ahead and let's just do some shooting with this thing. Let's try that little plate right there. Oh, I hit it right off the bat. You know, I have never once claimed to be a great pistol shot. In fact, I'm not. I know that I'm not a great pistol shot just because I don't get the time on the range. But this thing actually shoots really nice, even for me. All right, let's do a mag change. Again, something I'm not great at, but we'll see how that flared mag well, and we'll see how the mag change goes with this thing. Not bad, not bad. Even for somebody like me who's just not a great pistol operator, it actually changes mags pretty good. Uh, Very impressed. I do notice that thread protector on the barrel is coming loose as I shoot it. I'm gonna have to let my customer know that so that he can make adjustments to that. I don't know if a little Loctite would do some good or whatever, but I just don't know. It is coming loose with use though. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and shoot one-handed just to see how this thing deals with limp wrist, and I'm gonna really try to make a good effort to not try to control the gun a whole lot. I want to see if somebody who's got a weaker wrist is going to have problems shooting this thing. And I'll do 5 shots right-handed, and I'll do 5 shots left-handed because my left hand is obviously not going to be as controllable as my right. So we'll give it some shots. We'll see how lip wristing does. See if the gun will accept that. It functions very well one-handed, so limp wristing isn't a problem. And I know guys that have got Glocks and Glock clones that say they just don't like a limp-wristed grip. My FN9SC is one of those. Just does not like a limp-wristed grip, and this thing is running just fine. All right, so we're going to do just a little bit of accuracy testing here. I'm 15 yards away from my targets here, and this is what I would call practical accuracy. I'm not going to go out to 50, 100, 125, 150 yards because at the end of the day, I've got a 4-inch polymer pistol here. This is a defense gun. This is not a sniper rifle. In my opinion, 15 yards is pretty practical. Now, if I can hit man-sized targets or even one of my 4 plates up there, at 15 yards, my accuracy should be plenty good. So let's see if I can get it done. We're going to go for the big plate first. Obviously, I can hit that. The next biggest plate, hit that. Hit that. The little one, can hit that. Let's go for a heart shot on the man plate. Can hit that. Headshot. Hit that as well. The gun shoots really good. This thing makes me look like a decent pistol shot, and that's impressive. All right, I'm at 21 feet. We're going to go ahead and I've got my last 10 shots here. I'm going to see how I can do at 21 feet. And the last shots that I put on the man target here are going to be basically point and shoot uh, because I'm going to try to simulate shit has hit the fan and I just got to get rounds into that individual. So let's see how I can do at 21 feet. We'll go big to small again like we did before. This thing really shoots nice. All right, the Springfield Echelon. What do I think of it? I really like this thing, and I'm not getting paid by Springfield to do this. In fact, I didn't even buy this one. This is a customer's gun. I had no intention of doing this video until this thing showed up. Uh, but my first thoughts of it are it shoots really good. Now understand, I only had full metal jacket ammunition. I shot 100 rounds of it here today. I didn't fire any hollow points through it or anything like that. I did do a couple of mag changes. I had no feed jam issues. I had no issues with the gun going into battery until I did the press check, which I showed you. It shoots really good. It makes me look like a decent pistol shot. The only thing that I can find that is somewhat of a problem is that this thread protector on the front of the barrel for the threaded barrel is loosening up as you shoot. And I don't know what the fix is for that. If any of you have comments on how to keep your thread protectors from loosening up while you're shooting, please let me know. But every magazine I shot, that thread protector was loosening up. So let me know if you've got any thoughts on how to keep them from loosening up. Overall, I really like the gun. It's a little bit big for a carry gun. Uh, they call this a duty style weapon. This would be a really good home defense gun, or if in the wintertime you're wearing a large coat or something, you could probably carry concealed in that manner. But it's a little bit big as a carry gun. So as I compare this gun to my carry gun, which is my FN9SC, which is empty, uh, you can see there is a little bit of a size difference. Uh, the Springfield is quite a bit larger. It's quite a bit longer out the barrel. It's quite a bit taller in the grip right here. It is just a slightly bigger gun. So it's maybe not totally ideal for carry, but it is an option under certain conditions. I certainly like my FN nicer for carrying because it is a little more compact. But shootability, reliability for the 100 rounds that I put through it, I mean, this is a sample size of one, and I've only fired 100 shots. Take that for what it's worth. But it fired everything good, and I didn't touch this thing out of the box. I didn't lube it up or anything like that. I made sure that it had some lube. I put a couple of drops on the slide, but it runs good. It shoots good. I like the ergonomics of it. I like the grip of it. It really is a nice gun to grip onto, and it points really well. You've got this 1911 grip angle that you've got here. So for me, and I am a fan of 1911s, it points really, really well for me. Very happy with that. Limp wristed option's not a problem. It just seems to be a well-made, decent gun. And it's what at the end of the day, it's another polymer striker fired pistol made in Croatia. It's made by HS Products for Springfield, and they brand it as the Echelon. But it's really a good gun so far. Now, time will tell. I'll ask my customer to give me an update on it if he's got any problems or anything like that with it. But so far, just right out of the box, I'm liking the gun. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. What do I think about the Springfield Armory Echelon? It's a thumbs up for me so far. Now, I wish this was my gun, and maybe it will be one day. As I understand it, these guns sell for about $600 or $700 without optics. If you buy them with optics, I know they're more expensive. I may entertain having a Viridian optic because so far I really like this one. I don't know much about it, and I'm not here to do the review on the optic because, as a general rule, I'm just not a fan. I don't like putting my hands in the life of batteries. The nice thing about this is if the batteries did go bad on the optic, you could still use the sights. Everything still lines up, and you do have a backup. So my first impressions of the Springfield Echelon is a thumbs up. I would love to keep shooting this, and I might have to put one of these in my collection, use it as a truck gun or a home defense gun or something like that. But so far, I say go ahead and buy it and give it a try. I like it, and I like it well enough where I think I'm going to probably buy one. So, in wrapping up, I hope you found this video useful. I hope you found it maybe mildly entertaining or some good information in there for you. I want to just say a quick thanks to all my longtime subscribers. I really do appreciate you out there. And if you're liking these kind of videos, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. And make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified of upcoming videos. Uh, that's the only way YouTube is going to notify you of the videos that I put up is if you ring that bell. I don't ask you for Patreon. I don't ask you for anything other than likes and subscribes. So please do me the solid of hitting that like and subscribe button. With that, this is Ed from Jack of All Trades. As always, thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next video. My fucking ears are ringing because I forgot to put in my goddamn earplugs.